So in preparation for a cheesecake, cream cheese. So get some cream cheese. It's about a pound. I'm gonna put the ingredients up on the site or whatever. This right here, move it into the light here. This is clarified butter with focus. There we go. It's like a sludge. This is clarified butter. It's still very warm. So clarified butter with ground Oreos. Sugar and all. I mean, you can take that off if you want to. If you want something a little less sweet. So it had the filling and everything in it. So I'm actually going to be doing a cheesecake in a pie pan, which is kind of odd, because I don't have my springform pan here. Sorry. And I also have little cupcake dishes. So what we're going to be doing here after we make the I just pan to a paper towel. Sorry. After we make the actual cream cheese filling, we're going to be using jello to make it set. This is actually a no-bake cheesecake, so don't worry about having to turn the oven on or anything. But after we get this all mixed up with all the ingredients, and it's some condensed milk and heavy cream, stuff like that, I'm going to actually fill those cups up, the cups over there, and I'm going to do a pie pan. So let's get that underway. Okay, so I have cream cheese mixed up here, and I put some crumbs. I put some crumbs of Oreos in there. I don't know if it's coming, like you can actually see it in camera. If it'll focus. I'm focused on stuff in the background. That's awesome. Okay, it's not gonna focus on it. Right on. So butter and Oreo dust essentially. It actually creates a impact liquid. Like if you move it really quick, it's solid, like a slurry. I think they call them non-Newtonian liquids. Then I got my mise en place here, which I've got 3/4 of a cup of sugar, heavy cream, 1 cup of, and 1/4 cup of condensed milk, sweetened condensed milk. And we're going to mix these together with that. And I have in my deep freeze here my little cupcake trays, and I just did that to set these quick. It's a little quick set or whatever. Since it is clarified butter, they will set pretty well. But also, when I add the gelatin to the mixture, it'll make that set pretty quick too. Now in here, since I don't have a, now you're looking at my floor. Look at that ugly linoleum. So there you go. I don't have my springform pan, so I put it in just a regular pie pan, and that is solid now because it's been in the freezer. It's actually the crust that I just put it there, and since it's a sort of a liquid, you can kind of spread it around there pretty easily. And that being frozen will actually help that set. I used to do like mudslide pies and stuff like that using that crust. Now you can tone down the amount of butter. You don't have to have it like that. You can use less butter. I'm just kind of I don't know, I like my fat. I have my recipe. I printed it out here, and you guys can. I don't have any instructions as you see, but kind of showing you as I go. I'm going to heat the liquid in the microwave. So here we go. Here's for your crust, Oreos and butter. I used a little more butter than this. Filling, and then I used a little bit of the leftover Oreo crumbs there. And this is going to be the topping. Bought myself a packet of the mini Oreos or whatever. And I'm going to melt some Nutella in the microwave, and I'm going to drizzle that on top, and you'll see how that comes out. Looks pretty neat. So, and I know in my recipe that it says to use 2 tablespoons of water, I actually used what was left over of the condensed milk and added that to the water, and I heated it up in the microwave. I've got a little itty bitty whisk right here. You see it's all liquid there. And I've got my packet of unflavored gelatin, and I'll mix that together and then pour it into here and mix that together and then pour it into all my molds, and we'll have cheesecake in a couple hours. So you'll want to put the Nutella on before it sets. So what I've done here, just made a little squiggly line, and then I made little circles in here, and my tools, I heated the Nutella up in the microwave, and then poured some into a plastic bag, and then cut the little tip off, and then just squeezed it out. So that's how I get this. My tools here are going to be a regular knife and a toothpick. A toothpick I'm going to use on these, and the knife I'm going to use on this. So, and what you can do is you just take the knife, preferably something without too much of an edge, and you drag it through like that, right? You're not going to go too deep, just enough to, I'm doing this one-handed too, so pardon if it doesn't look all that great. And then turn it around. I'm actually going to drag it through in between a different angle. Makes these pretty little patterns. And then when this sets, the Nutella will also harden because it is Nutella. And then you have a pretty little pattern. And I am, like I've said before, I am not a baker. I do not say that I'm a cake decorator in any fashion. So let's see. Now with the toothpick, I actually do something a little bit different. I'm going to take these, like, here we go. Let's get one that's like a little more round. Here we go. Now what we're going to do here, and I'm just going to do that on the top of these, just to give them a little bit more character. As you see, that's why I use a toothpick. And if you do it just the once, you can make like little hearts out of them. Just like drag it through like that, which is kind of cool if you're into that sort of thing. Cool. And then after you put this in the fridge, let it set up. In about 3 hours, you'll have little cheesecake torts, I guess. And see the cheesecake. I'm going to put the Oreos around on it. I'll show you what that looks like here in a minute. Okay, there you go, with the Oreos on it. And these ones, I just stuck one little mini Oreo in the center. I'm just, you guys can see, they're not going to be, you know, too thick. So cheesecake, not very big, but if I had my my springform pan, then I wouldn't actually have those at all. So it's kind of nice. I got to show you two different things, two different ways to make it. I'm going to stick these in the fridge now, and they will set up nicely, and then tomorrow we'll cut it up. And it's not going to be tomorrow in the video, obviously. It's probably going to be coming up next. So some little tricks if you're actually going to be putting them in little cups like this. There's a neat way that you can get that off of there, because the cheesecake will tend to stick like that. But with the bottoms, I mean, you can put that on a tray and have little cheesecake tarts or whatever. This one, I actually put in the freezer. So you can take it and put it in the freezer. It'll actually hold its shape a whole lot better. Then you can put it on a tray, stick it in the fridge. It'll defrost. So that's your little tarts. Kind of this cheesecake. Unfortunately, since I put it in a pie pan, cutting a cheesecake in a pie pan, it can be a little temperamental. Trying to get that first piece out, it might not actually be a very pretty first piece. Now, after this piece, you probably start getting them out because you'll be able to get underneath them pretty well. But before that, you're going to have some issues with it. I didn't fill it all the way to the top, so I'm pulling away some of the crust. Now let's see if we can actually get that out of there in one piece. I doubt it. Might have to edit this video. Oh yeah, it's gonna be problematic. Well, there you go. Seems to have held its shape fairly well. You got your Oreo crust there. Got the drizzle on the top. Still looks fairly pretty. Of course, this piece would not be indicative of what the rest of your pieces will look like, because this one will be a little bit more tore up than the rest of them because it's your first piece. But then after that, all your pieces should come out looking pretty good. So, alright guys, that is no-bake Oreo cheesecake. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I figured I'd show you a little presentation trick. I showed you on the actual cheesecake itself, the topping or whatever, the neat little things that you can do. What I did here was actually put, this is just regular like Hershey's chocolate syrup, and I just made like a little spiral in it. I'm going to take with a toothpick and you're going to drag it through in kind of a star pattern, right? So you get something that looks like that. What you can do, if you actually want that to be like thicker lines, you can use like the side of a fork, like the one of the tongues of a fork. But Or you can actually use like a thicker syrup than just like Hershey's chocolate syrup. But that being said, that you got a little presentation. Make it a little prettier. And like I don't know, I showed you the cool thing about freezing it with the wrapper on it is you get the cool little edges on it, which is pretty neat. And you can do what you want to with it. I mean, you don't have to put Oreos in it, or you can do this with regular cheesecake if you wanted to. Made the same way as the no-bake cheesecake, just minus the Oreos, obviously. Alright guys, thanks for watching.